Welcome to Acadiana's News Channel at 10. We have a lot to discuss on this active weekend, and we'll also discuss those winter weather alerts coming up.
And with that winter storm on the way, more than 11,000 flights have been canceled nationwide. Tonight, I'm taking you to Lafayette Regional Airport to see how local flyers are being impacted. And neighbors have just one more day to get their homes together ahead of tomorrow night's freeze. Tonight, we'll have everything you need to know about keeping your family and home safe and warm. Good evening and thank you for watching Acadiana's News Channel tonight at 10. I'm Anna Fisher, and we begin by taking a live look over Acadiana on this wet winter day. But once that rain goes away, the cold is coming out to play. Tonight, we're talking all things winter weather as the country prepares for this cold snap to hit. KATC is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know, beginning with what exactly you should be prepared for weather-wise. Let's bring in Acadiana weather expert Brianna Lewis to learn when those freezing temperatures will be hitting us. Brianna?
Yeah, Anna, it's very cold out there already, especially in northern Louisiana. Temperatures, they're already in the low 20s, and temperatures are pretty much spread out across the state, and we'll look at that in just a moment. But we got at least three major headlines to discuss. Still dealing with some wet conditions out there. It has been very rainy on this Saturday, and we're likely to continue to deal with the rainfall for those areas south of Interstate 10 for tomorrow, and this will likely push out of our area by the afternoon hours. But we still have some ongoing winter weather alerts with that mixed percip, that next round coming up tonight, and also very cold temperatures arriving Sunday night into early Monday with temperatures in the teens and 20s, and also feels like temperatures in the single digits and preteens. So still dealing with widespread winter weather alerts from the south all the way through the northeast. More than 2,000 miles of these winter weather alerts across the country. Even for us, we are under multiple alerts that will break down in that full weather, but it has been quite rainy on this Saturday. We still got some scattered showers out there. More of that mixing layer, more so north of Alexandria and impacting portions of northern Louisiana. And taking just a closer look there, we've got a few spotty showers moving towards the northeast into portions of Evangeline and St. Landry Parish, but we're likely to see that change into at least a freezing rain or sleet by the time we get into tomorrow morning. Now, temperatures low 20s around Shreveport, warming up into the upper 60s, so a big difference in temperatures, more than 40 degrees across the state. Now we'll see those temperatures meander into the mid 30s for tonight, with that rainfall at its highest as well. The rain will stay mostly in the morning, followed by cloudy skies during the afternoon. And as you stay for that full weather, we'll have a breakdown of those winter weather alerts and how long the cold air will last.
All right, thanks, Brianna. Now, that winter weather is impacting travel both on the roads and in the sky. I stopped by Lafayette Regional Airport earlier today, where flyers are feeling that impact already.
You are flying out on this rather overcast day, huh?
Yes, I am, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and you said you're flying with what airline?
Delta.
This is what Lafayette Regional Airport's departure log looks like, as seen on their website. With delays and cancellations piling up, flyers like Vincent Smith are hitting some roadblocks.
There's a short delay. It means I'm going to miss my connecting flight.
The cause? The cold. According to CNN, as of noon Eastern time, more than 11,000 domestic flights have been canceled between Saturday and Monday. A Delta worker at LFT confirming this, saying some Delta flights are delayed. All departures and arrivals through American Airlines have been canceled until 10 a.m. Sunday, and no United flights are scheduled to take off Saturday, but nightly arrivals are on time.
They've just squared me away with a later flight out of Atlanta.
Despite the hassle to get home to Connecticut, Smith says he's grateful for LFT's workers.
But you said people here at this airport were very helpful.
Very helpful, yes. If the flight doesn't get me in time, it means they've booked me on the next later flight to get me out of Atlanta, so they were super helpful.
Now, if you plan on flying this weekend, LFT suggests checking with your airline directly for the most up-to-date information regarding your travel plans. And that's not just for those leaving out of Lafayette. As I mentioned before, more than 11,000 flights have been canceled across the U.S. between Saturday and Monday. More than 3,500 flights are canceled today, with some of the most heavily impacted airports in Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Little Rock. The number of cancellations nearly doubles tomorrow, where the impacts are seen further east. And there have already been some cancellations for Monday. Those will likely increase as the storm makes its way across the country. From the skies to the roads, it's important to keep safety at top of mind. Discount Tire recommends switching to winter tires, or snow tires as we say in Wisconsin, for up to 50% more traction, making sure tire tread depth is adequate before hitting icy roads. Drivers are also urged to make sure wiper blades have been replaced within the last 6 months. And those freezing temperatures are expected to hit us tomorrow night, meaning you have one more day to prepare your home for the snap. Lafayette Utilities System and Slemco say covering pipes ahead of time is a must, and it's smart to keep cabinets that are housing pipes open, allowing warm air to circulate around plumbing. They also suggest dressing warm even while inside to keep that electricity bill from skyrocketing. LUS is also asking neighbors not to drip faucets to avoid drops in water pressure. There's a chance this winter weather could bring widespread power interruptions, and that's according to CLECO. But they say they're prepping for the impacts with crews and customer service teams working round the clock to restore any power lost. The company has also brought in 415 additional contractors, from line mechanics to tree trimmers, to help out. CLECO has also suspended service disconnects through Monday, and they're not alone. Entergy has suspended disconnects at least through Monday, while Delta has promised to suspend them throughout the duration of the severe weather advisory. And you may have a generator on standby in case you do lose power, but here are some safety do's and don'ts to keep in mind. Never run a generator indoors. Keep them at least 20 feet away from doors, windows, and vents. Allow generators to cool before refueling, and never store fuel inside your home. Only use grounded, outdoor-rated extension cords with 3 prongs, and never plug the generator directly into a household outlet. And always keep sure to keep away from children from generators. House fires are more common during the cold due to ovens and space heaters, according to Abbeville Fire Department. They say not to use your oven as a heater and to follow safety protocols while using space heaters. Always turn them off before going to bed. Never keep them near curtains or blankets, and only plug them into wall outlets, not extension cords. This is also a good time to check your carbon monoxide detectors, smoke alarms, and practice a home fire escape plan. And we know not everyone has a warm place to stay during this cold weather, but there are warming centers available across Acadiana. In Lafayette Parish, a shelter opened at the Dupuis Recreation Center this evening, remaining open through 10 a.m. Tuesday. This is meant to provide refuge to anyone without adequate heat.
Making sure we provide very good, safe shelter. We'll provide them warm meals, cots, blankets, whatever they need. They'll be able to take showers. We'll have hygiene products for them as well. She really wants to make sure that we take care for those that just really can't take care for themselves, or just don't have adequate heat. You know, they have a home and just don't have the adequate heat. So we want to make sure we have that safe shelter for them. A medical cot for medical reasons. We separate families from men and women. We also have a pet shelter, and we will be running it 24/7. We open tonight.
And there are also warming centers open in Opelousas and New Iberia. To learn more about any of these centers, head over to katc.com. And the rule of thumb is if you're cold, your animals are too. From farm to zoo, experts are taking extra precautions to protect their animals from freezing temperatures. Here's what they recommend. Livestock owners suggest using blankets and heat lamps to keep animals warm. And be sure to secure shelters ahead of the snap with barriers against the cold and wind. And inside that shelter, make sure there's plenty of hay and bedding. We have more weather-related news still ahead in the show, including a look at what's closing down across Acadiana in response to the freezing conditions heading our way. So stay tuned to learn more.
And after the break, we'll have more on the multiple winter weather alerts that the state is under. Welcome back, Acadiana. It's still well over 2,000 miles of winter alerts that spread across the country, and that includes winter storm warnings. That's the bright pinks from Texas all the way through the Northeast, and we also got extreme cold warnings out there in the north, even for the south, along with winter weather advisories, an ice storm warning that's in effect now until tomorrow evening. So let's go ahead and jump right into those alerts right after we discuss this timeline. Now, still the same criteria is expected for tonight. Still north of I-10, expecting that changeover from rain into at least freezing rain or sleet, and that's where the travel will be most hazardous up there. Now, south of I-10, not worried about any ice accumulations. We'll mostly be dealing with some rainfall, and when it comes to that snow, not expecting any snow, but we can't rule out a few flurries that can occur. And then also the very cold temperatures, we'll see those Sunday night into early Monday with lows in the teens and 20s. So we'll start off with that ice storm warning in effect now until tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. So these highlighted areas can see ice accumulations anywhere between 1/10 of an inch up to 1/2 an inch, and power outages and tree damage are likely to be the effect of this ice warning, and transitioning to that winter weather advisory that is about a step below from that ice storm warning. These accumulations will be a lot less, closer to the 1/10 of an inch possible along Interstate 10 there. So this includes Jeff Davis, Acadia, Lafayette, St. Martin Parish, and also for St. Landry until 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. So with the graph model, it's still on tap to show the highest accumulations in central and northern Louisiana coming up, and still staying above I-10. So Eunice, Kendall, around that 1/10 of an inch there, a little bit higher into Alexandria, around 1/2 an inch. So likely to see some type of ice accumulations in this area. But south of I-10, not seeing any ice accumulations. It will most likely be rainfall there, since the cold air doesn't quite make its way that far south to match up with the moisture there. So as we fast forward to midnight, we'll start to see that next round of freezing precip into portions of central and northern Louisiana. This will most likely be scattered to widespread during the overnight hours. We'll get mostly rainfall just south of I-10, and once we get around daybreak, Allen, Evangeline, St. Landry Parish, the areas likely to see that mix of freezing rain and sleet around daybreak, likely to progress well after 8 a.m. and it can even touch portions of northern Lafayette Parish for tomorrow morning. But as you can tell, around 12 p.m. all of that will be pushing further towards the east, so we'll at least get a brief or break in between the rainfall. We'll definitely see drier conditions going into Sunday afternoon. Rainfall that'll be pushing out of our area, so won't see any rainfall at least until the end of next week. But those temperatures, very cold out there as that cold air starts to settle in. We'll still be dealing with some cloudy skies out there, but it's not until Monday where we'll finally get the sunny skies returning to our areas, and the clouds will finally diminish, because it has been quite cloudy the last several days. And not to mention, it is a cold weather advisory now until 12 p.m. So very cold wind chills as low as 16 degrees are expected for these highlighted areas. And right now, those temperatures for tonight well below freezing for central Louisiana, between 26 to about 31 degrees. That includes Kinder and Opelousas along Interstate 10, a little bit higher above freezing. So most in the mid to upper 30s, even some 40s out there for areas further towards the southeast. And then for highs tomorrow, barely making it above freezing, especially for our inland parishes, in the low to upper 30s. So pretty much whatever is on the ground will likely refreeze going into Sunday night, and that will run the issue of black ice, especially for central and northern Louisiana. Now, highs for areas along Interstate 10 will be a little bit higher, though, in the upper 30s to the low 40s, and then also 50s and 60s further towards the southeast. Now, it is also an extreme cold warning that will go into effect tomorrow evening for those single-digit wind chills, and also those lows for Sunday night into early Monday. Very cold, teens to the 20s across majority of the state, along with those wind chills in the single digits to at least the preteens. Now, highs for Monday will finally branch out into the upper 30s and 40s, but it'll still be very cool cool out there. So with that current radar, we got the showers out there as of now. We'll start to see that push out of our area, and still LFT got up to almost 2 inches there for today. So as we fast forward through all these graphics, because my time is running out, we got that 10-day forecast, rainy conditions tomorrow. After that will be very dry, but on the chilly side with multiple hard freezes. Stay tuned. We'll have another look at the 10-day forecast later in the show.
All right, thanks, Bree. And of course, you can stay up to date on what's happening with the weather, something especially important in these coming days, by downloading the free KATC weather app, available on your phone's app store. And like I mentioned before, news of closures across Acadiana in response to inclement weather is rolling in. In Acadia Parish, Crowley City Hall will be closed Monday, and all non-essential personnel will be off work. That's due to expected freezing temperatures and road closures. In Iberia Parish, Parish President Larry Richard announced all government offices in the parish courthouse will be closed Monday for the same reasons. Those are expected to reopen as normal on Tuesday. And the 16th Judicial District Court offices and Clerk of Court offices will be closed in Iberia, St. Martin, and St. Mary parishes on Monday. And the Diocese of Lafayette also made an announcement regarding the winter weather. Bishop Desatel announced that Catholics are excused from the obligation to attend Sunday Mass if travel is dangerous or poses a health risk due to severe weather. Missing Mass under these conditions is not considered sinful, the bishop says. Under this, parishioners are encouraged to check your local Mass schedules for changes. And of course, we have all these closures and more, including school closures and the latest updates on KATC.com. But don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we're taking a look at our top national headline, another deadly shooting involving an ICE agent in Minneapolis that happened earlier today. Plus, Trump is threatening to put more tariffs on Canada. We'll have the details right after this. Welcome back. For the second time, federal agents are involved in a deadly shooting on the streets of Minneapolis. A 37-year-old man shot multiple times. Scripps News Group's Megan Lee is on the scene.
The below-zero temperatures are not stopping thousands of protesters here in Minneapolis. Many are fed up and frustrated after federal agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy Saturday morning.
Demand justice for Alex by any means necessary.
South side of Minneapolis in the Whittier neighborhood filled with thousands of people Saturday night.
Yeah, we're not going to go down without a fight.
Nia Rose was born and raised in Minneapolis. The past few years have felt heavy, and the past few weeks even heavier.
It's like this heartbreak and this exhaustion and this like unbelievable hopelessness coupled with like what you see right now, which is everybody showing up in all kinds of little ways, big ways.
Big ways like this crowd of thousands gathered at a nearby park just hours after the shooting.
We're not trying to riot. We didn't burn down Minneapolis in 2020. It was outside agitators. We love our city. For them to come here and mess with our city, it's equal parts enraging and heartbreaking.
The passion of the people could be heard.
No justice! No peace!
And seen as candles were lit and signs were held high.
I'm just absolutely beyond livid. Beyond livid, sad, everything.
The frigid temperatures in the past few weeks of protesting is not stopping people like Marcus Mayo.
I can tell this is going to be a long movement right now. I mean, they're going to keep going. We're going to keep going until ICE is out.
I haven't seen much of a law enforcement presence here near 26 and Nicollet where that shooting happened. However, Mayor Jacob Fry did request the National Guard's help because of everything that's happened in the last few weeks. Reporting in Minneapolis, Megan Lee, Scripps News Group.
In other national news, President Donald Trump is threatening 100% tariffs on Canadian imports. Trump made the threat today, saying these tariffs would happen if Canada were to make a trade deal with China. Trump's latest threat is a turnaround from comments he made last week when he said it would be good for Prime Minister Mark Carney to get a deal with China. Earlier this month, Carney met with China's president where they formed a strategic partnership. The White House has not said what would be classified as a deal, nor when, or if any new tariffs would take effect.
Just 20 days till the Raging Cajuns can send one over the fence. I'm Anthony Council with a look at the night kicking off baseball season.
And later on in the show, we're taking a look back at some of the top stories from across Acadiana this week. Stay tuned for that.
I'm tired.
With Ragin' Cajun baseball just weeks away, head coach Matt Deggs is kicking off the night with a bang, with baseball, tradition, and excitement coming here to Lafayette for one special night. Ragin' Cajun baseball is back.
We are so excited. We have put in a lot of work and time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
But before they hit the diamond, tonight players and coaches are letting their hair down at the 2026 leadoff banquet.
We're at a banquet so that we can meet people. Everybody that's here is very important to our ball club and is a contributor, and that means a lot to us.
But the hard work has already started for these boys. For right-handed pitcher J.R. Tillett, the effort put in during practice is all in the name of a better game.
That fans come out and they know what they're going to get, and that's a fight and just a battle.
Ragin' Cajuns kick off their season Friday, February 13th at home against Missouri State at Russo Park. Anthony Council, KATC Sports.
And after the break, we're looking back at some of the top stories from across Acadiana, including memories from last year's historic winter weather phenomenon. Plus, another look at that freezing forecast coming up. Welcome back, Acadiana. Though we've been pretty weather-focused these last few days, we've had some other big stories this week across Acadiana. Tuesday in Lafayette Parish, neighbors packed the council chambers to push back against the recent agreements made between Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office and ICE. Public commenters brought up concerns about protections at school and safety in neighborhoods, worrying about legal documented citizens who may become entangled in immigration enforcement operations. Sheriff Mark Garber explained assisting ICE will not be the Sheriff's Office's only duty. And in St. Landry Parish, cockfighting permits took center stage at a parish council meeting. Under state law, cockfighting has been illegal in Louisiana since 2008, but dozens of supporters gathered outside the meeting, which ended with council members agreeing to take the issue to the state level. Those supporters questioned the law against cockfighting, claiming it violates constitutional rights. In a post made to social media, the state attorney general said, quote, "It's a longstanding policy of the Louisiana Department of Justice not to issue opinions on the constitutionality of state laws. Cockfighting remains illegal in Louisiana." And Tuesday marked the one-year anniversary of South Louisiana's historic snow day. For many across Acadiana, seeing snow stick to the ground was hard to believe. What happened over a year ago wasn't just rare, it was historic, prompting the National Weather Service in Lake Charles to issue its first ever blizzard warning. Lafayette recorded 9 inches of snow, the second highest total ever recorded, and the coldest day on record since 1895.
That was a wild day, and we'll also talk about more on that wild weather here shortly. With the last look of the 10-day, we got some active conditions coming up tonight, especially north of I-10, where we get that brief changeover from rain into freezing rain or sleet. Luckily, that will come to an end before noon tomorrow, but we'll still have the very cold air for several days getting into next week. So, Anna, we're likely looking at multiple hard freezes, and those temperatures close to my age are not cool.
Yeah, I'm looking for a fireplace, Bree. You got a fireplace in your house?
I don't, but a fire pit. Well, no, you don't want to be outside. It's raining outside.
Gotta be inside.
Let's scratch that.
We'll find someone's fire.
Yeah. But you know what? Also good, a bowl of soup or some gumbo.
We love our soup here, obviously. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for watching tonight on Acadiana's News Channel at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.